All right, let's dive right into this. Today, we're going to unpack the story hidden inside a single song, Wildwater Souls. And this is more than just lyrics on a page, you know? It's a whole journey that gets into a certain mindset, a challenge, and this really powerful message about what happens when you answer that call from the wild. So let's get into it. The song kicks off by painting this amazing picture. You can just imagine this group of people standing right at the edge of a river. And this line, "We felt its pull in silent awe." Man, that sets the tone immediately. This isn't just about a fun weekend activity. It's about feeling this force of nature that just draws you in, you know? It commands respect without saying a single word. And that pull, it leads us right to the big question of the entire song. It's a feeling I think a lot of us can relate to in some way. What actually happens when we stop ignoring that little voice telling us to go on an adventure and we actually answer that call of the wild? This song is all about exploring that answer. So first up is what the song calls the primal call. And it makes it super clear that this whole adventure starts way before anyone gets near the river. It actually begins inside, with this feeling, this fire in our chest. You can just feel the anticipation building here in what feels like a morning ritual. It all starts with that internal fire, right? Then it becomes real. They're loading up the kayaks, driving for miles through that endless green. You see the grins in gear, and right there, they've made this silent promise to each other. There is no turning back, and the first paddle hasn't even hit the water yet. The song uses this really cool, kind of strange metaphor, a primal call like a beating harp. Think about that. It's not a horn or a shout. It's rhythmic, it's ancient, it's almost musical. And that just brilliantly shows that this pull toward the wild, it's not some logical choice. It's an instinct, something deep inside us that just vibrates like a string being plucked. Okay, so now we're on the river, and this is where a huge shift happens. This part of the story is all about making the choice to surrender, to let go of the map and just follow the flow. And the song sets up this incredible contrast. You've got the world behind, which is all about rules, roads, and plans, things we invent to feel in control. But then you have the water's dream, a world that runs on flow, on force, and pure instinct. They are deliberately leaving one world behind to get totally lost in the other. And this really brings us to the heart of the song. What even is a wildwater soul? Well, it's not just about being a kayaker. It's a whole mindset. It's about deciding to embrace the unknown, to trust your gut when you don't have a map, and to find real freedom, not by controlling life, but by moving with all its unpredictable currents. Okay, so buckle up because the energy is about to kick way up. The prep is done, the mindset is there, and now it's time for action. This is that moment where they come face to face with the raw power of the river, and in that dance, they find out something really important about what it means to be alive. I absolutely love this line. It just completely flips what you'd expect, right? They're in the middle of crashing foam and swirling bends. I mean, a legitimately dangerous spot. And how do they react? By shouting and laughing. It's not about being reckless. It's about finding pure joy and exhilaration in a moment that demands total focus and trust in your friends. But the song doesn't sugarcoat it. The stakes are incredibly high. All it takes is one single wrong move. So how in the world did they handle that kind of pressure? The answer is right there, total commitment. Fear's still there for sure, but it kind of becomes meaningless when you give it all. There's just no room left for hesitation, no room for doubt. All that's left is trust in your skills, in your friends, and in the water itself. And then, after all that adrenaline, the whole pace of the song just slows way down. The focus shifts from the chaos of the water to the quiet warmth of a campfire. This is where that raw experience gets processed, and it turns into something that's going to last. And that brings us to the campfire ritual. They gather round, soaked and worn, right? They've all been through the same thing. They start sharing the stories, the flips, the struggles, the moments of triumph. And in telling those stories, they forge this bond, a connection that the song says can't fade with time. And this is the real prize. This is the payoff. They didn't go out there looking for money or fame. The lyrics even say they chased the rapids, not the gold. The real reward is the experience itself, which becomes the story's worth 1,000 told. It's this incredible, intangible prize that's worth more than anything you can hold in your hand. So what happens when it's all over and they go home?
Well, the final part of the song looks at the lasting impact of this journey. It's about how one intense, short experience can just echo through the rest of your life. This line just perfectly captures the whole philosophy. After learning to navigate the river without a map, they start to apply that same lesson to life. The best paths, the most rewarding ones, aren't the ones that are already drawn out for you. They're the ones we choose for ourselves.
Now, this, I think, is the most brilliant part of the whole song. The memory of that day, it doesn't just fade away. It becomes a resource, an anchor. So when they're back in the city and they hear the rain, they can just close their eyes and go right back to that wild Canadian day. It becomes the source of peace and strength they can carry with them, always. And that kind of leaves us with one last thought. This song isn't really just about kayaking, is it? It's about any experience that challenges you, that connects you with other people, and becomes a piece of who you are. So the question for all of us is, what is that powerful memory for you? What is the river that you'll hear in the rain?